Hello everybody. I'm so excited you're all here. Thank you and welcome. Thank you and welcome. Thank you and welcome. Thank you and welcome. We're just getting ready to get everything going. And I just have one final thing to do and then we'll get started, right? Okay, let me get this going and we are good to go. Okay, and there we go. Thank you all so much. It's my pleasure to be here. Today we're going to have such a wonderful discussion. I can't believe that 5 days to this day, I actually sat in this exact chair and I was talking to all of you about reading Article 7, which are the articles or the statutes that govern behavioral health residential facilities. And looking at myself right now, all I can do is just laugh at myself. Oh my God, what a journey it has been. I mean, some parts, quite honestly, were just pure hell. And one thing you're going to get with me is the absolute honest truth along the entire journey. But I am finally here. I just have so much gratitude and grace for all of you who have waited for 5 years for this information. And I'm glad that I finally put my entire 5 years experience together. And I've now established what I'm calling the Behavioral Health Business Masterclass. So the Behavioral Health Business Masterclass is not a class that is just for people who are trying to establish behavioral residential facilities. It is for anybody trying to establish any kind of residential facility. So it doesn't matter whether your facility is assisted living, it doesn't matter whether your facility is going to be a DDD home to take care of people who are experiencing developmental challenges. It doesn't matter whether you're going to establish a sober living facility or a transitional home. So behavioral or assisted living, it doesn't really matter. The Behavioral Health Business Masterclass is designed for anybody who is interested in opening a residential care home or currently running a residential care home and you've been thinking about scaling your practice, right? Scaling your facility, upping your business, right? Opening into more and more homes, because truth be told, we have so many vulnerable people in society. This business will never disappear. It cannot, because so many members of our society need help. And I want to even start by thanking you all. You are absolutely one of a kind. I mean, direct care is not easy by any means, you know. Whether you're taking care of the elderly, whether you're taking care of people who have maybe a dual diagnosis of substance use and mental challenges, it is not easy at all. In fact, in my opinion, it's really exhausting. And when I think of what I've gone through the five years, I mean, I'm telling you, all I can do is just laugh, because I never thought that I would come out of the experience alive. And for the most part, I was thoroughly and grossly overwhelmed. So now I am here, you know, I've established the Behavioral Health Business Masterclass. And this class is really about your habits as an entrepreneur, your behaviors, because your behaviors are going to determine your capabilities and your abilities to scale. You know, the way you run your administration, the way you recruit your personnel, the way you manage your clientele, the way you manage your clientele family, all of that is going to come down to your behaviors and your behavioral patterns as an entrepreneur. And that's what the class is about. That's why I named it Behavioral Health Business Masterclass, even though my experience in the last 5 years was really running a behavioral health facility. So I'm here with all the juices, all the gossip, truth in all my experiences, and my God, what a journey it has been. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the general system of setting up residential care facilities, and the model remains the same. You know, just I've said, it doesn't matter what type of facility you're opening, as long as it's residential, I am going to teach you the formula so that you can always have the formula in mind. It varies from state to state, but it's always the key. The key items continue to remain the key items. Now, this class is designed for providers because the residential care market is devoid of love. I mean, how many times have you needed help and really had nobody to reach out to? Or you feel like, oh, people are just so overwhelmed in the industry because the compliance regulations are so strict, especially in the behavioral world. Every time, every week, it's like a new measure over new measure over new measure over new measure. And then there's so much going on there because you're here trying to provide the best care. And then there's a tug of war here with the government where, you know, it's like a push and pull. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of my experiences, but I'm going to start by first telling you that I am here for you to support you, to love you, to nurture you. Oops, did that just come out of my mouth? Sorry guys. To support, love you, and nurture you. Now I'm thinking of the apple and hummus I just ate. Okay, Katha, focus. To support you and love you and nurture you and be here for you as a resource. Because when I ran my group home, I managed to secure 2 of the largest contracts in the state of Arizona. And both MCOs, managed care organization, who we call insurances, audited me on 2 separate occasions, and I scored 100%. So it wasn't 30%, it wasn't 50%, it wasn't 60%, it was a complete straight 100%. And by the way, one audit I actually did when I was back home in my home country, Kenya, while burying a really good friend. So you can imagine the amount of stress I was under. And I even remember wincing my eyes during the Zoom meeting because I didn't want to hear my final score. And when he said 100, I was just floored because we were working with my teams, my staff teams, my A team here in the US, and they were so good and they were so proactive and they had put in a lot of effort, and I was so happy to get that 100%. But that 100% was not easy. That 100% was a demonstration of how I showed up in the industry despite the ebbs and flows. And there were days there we have not slept. Actually, many days we haven't slept. So you need to know some of these things ahead of time. So when you are getting ready to either start your home or you're getting ready to open your second or your third home, all of these things can be at your fingertips so that you can diminish the amount of stress or the overburdening of the overwhelmed feeling that we sleep with and we deal with a lot in the industry, because it's direct care. Care is difficult and nobody could compensate you sufficiently for the work that you do. So allow me to tell you thank you. That's another thing that doesn't happen in this industry. People don't say thank you. Insurance plans don't say thank you. Most certainly not the state. In fact, the state send those very legalistic letters. They're like, you know, just say thank you. Just write to me and say, hey, Nkatha, thank you for running Sananga Care Homes for 5 years. I appreciate the work you did for America's most vulnerable. I want to thank you for your effort. Never have I gotten an effort. I mean, a thank you, just one thank you. So let me, on behalf of the industry, take this moment and thank you for the work that you do, because I know many of you are completely overextended, overwhelmed, extremely fatigued. You go to bed thinking about your clients and you wake up thinking about your clients. So let me just say, on behalf of parents, on behalf of sisters, brothers, uncles, on behalf of insurance plans, on behalf of everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you for the work you do. You matter. And BHBMC is created just for you, so that you people can have a place you can woosa, you can have a confidant in the industry, you can have an advocate, and you can have somebody who's going to bat for you, right? So that's what BHBMC is about. Now, I'm going to talk to you and share with you about the different profiles in the industry. And I want to talk to you about this so you can figure out where you fit. So I took the time, and by the way, I've been working on this BHBMC for almost 5 years, and I'm so glad to finally launch it for you, because you need it and you deserve the love. So I want you to think about it this way. There are 5 different profiles in BHBMC. I need some water. All right, I'm so excited. I'm just so and spitting the apple that I had. Sorry, maybe TMI. Anyway, so the first profile is an Yvonne. An Yvonne is a representative of an aspiring provider. So you've been thinking about it, you've been chatting about it to all your friends, you see residential healthcare facilities as a good business venture, and now all you're looking for is the expertise to get the group home going, to get your application put together. So that profile, I named an Yvonne, right? Then there's a second profile, which is somebody who was involved in the industry, either has been working in the capacity of a caregiver, case manager, you could even be like a nurse practitioner, you could be a physician, a social healthcare worker, you know, anybody who has had some touch point with the industry, and now you're like, okay, I'm no longer willing to be an employee of somebody's, you know, company. I want to step out and open my own residential facility. And why not? I mean, case managers, you work a ton and your caseload is insane. I know it because I've seen the amount of effort you do, and a lot of you have been in consideration of opening all your own facility. You could even be a member of the police force. So anybody who has had some level of a touch point in the industry and is now thinking of opening their own residential care home. Your profile is Shana, okay? And then we have a David. A David is like, let's say somebody who's held a C-suite position in a healthcare institution. It could be like maybe you're with, or even like a C-level position. It could be an insurance company. It could have been maybe you're even coming from a different industry. You could have been a podiatrist who owned his own private practice. So somebody who's had like a C-suite level position, and now you're like, okay, no longer willing to hold a C-suite position, thinking of opening my own residential facility. You could even be a physician, and you're like, I need something for myself. And then we have a Monique. So a Monique is a passive investor. Like you're like, I own 4 properties, not interested in managing them, not even interested in taking an administrative role, but I am interested in having residential care homes established in my property. That's a Monique profile. You're just a passive investor. You're not interested in doing any of the work. You're just like, here are the properties. You go ahead, you know, pay me my cut, you know, on a monthly basis or whatever agreement you create. And then that's your passive income strategy. And then there are people who are also serial entrepreneurs. There are people, that's now a Lewis profile. So what you're interested in doing is in buying a healthcare business and then exiting it at some point in time. So you come in early, you could come in at the startup stage, you could come in much later. Like, you know, I've seen individuals who buy home health businesses. I've seen individuals who buy what do you call a hospice company? Like a hospice. I've seen people who buy a group of group homes. So you're like a person who comes in, you're like, you enjoy the residential care industry and you're interested in making a purchase. That profile is a Lewis. So on my website, I have put all the profiles: Yvonne, Shana, David, Monique, Lewis. Go in there and identify which profile suits you, because I have a basket of classes, and I have assigned my basket of classes specific to where you are. Now with the BHBMC, we cater for all profiles simultaneously, because I've been through the process, right? I've been invested in the process for half a decade, so I can manage the class with all of your profiles in it, because sometimes you need to hear something twice, even though you're in, let's say someone like a David, you know, maybe you've bought, let's say you've had your own residential care facility, you're even moving to your 5th or 6th investment. When I elaborate to you what to look out for when buying the initial real estate, you're gonna hear it differently. And you might hear it differently in a way that allows you to trigger a new line of profit or revenue making. So that's why I say that the class works in such a way that we can be a mix of all the 5 profiles. Now, eventually, as you go throughout your journey, because once you become a BHBMCer, you know, you've come in for the BHBMC class, you're now post BHBMC, I give you lifetime access to our community. So once you complete the program, then we continue to specialize with you and support you depending on where you are with the 5 levels. So you don't need to worry and think like, hey, this class is not for me. I'm just going to be with the people who are starting the industry. No. The network has to be, it has to be everybody, because maybe somebody is an aspiring provider, and then they meet you in the class and they change their minds and they have just mad administrative skills. And you know, the #1 skill in this industry is administration. The better you are at administration, the better your business or entity is organized, the more you are, the stronger you are in your pursuit of profit making. So administration is a key talent, and this network and this community of BHBMCers is where you meet these kinds of people. So now I'm going to move over and explain to you something I call the PAP score. I'm actually going to take a second and just draw it here. It's P for Paul, A for apple, A for apple, P for Paul, or Paulina, S for sex, sorry, I mean X for Sam, and then C-O-R. C for cat, O for orange, and R for Robert. PAP score. What is PAP score? That's a great question. So PAP score is the system in which you create a residential facility. PAP score. It's property, application, administration, personnel, clients, organizations, and then repeat. I'll say it again. PAP score. P-A-A-P-S-C-O-R. It's property, application, administration, personnel, systems, clients, organization, repeat. Now, what does PAP score mean? PAP score, P stands for the property. So the process always starts with your acquisition of the property. And then you submit the application. And then you move into the key administrative tasks, because now you're getting your property ready. So of course, it's the furnishing of the property. And then now you move into the key administrative tasks. Then you move to recruiting of the personnel. Then you establish the systems. And then you recruit the clients, and then you manage the whole organization of the entire entity, and then you repeat. So PAP score: property, application, administration, system, clients, organization, repeat. I'll say it for you the way we used to say it in kindergarten. Property, application, administration, personnel. Property, application, administration, personnel. Systems, clients, organizations, and then repeat. I'll sing again. Property, application, administration, personnel. Property, application, administration, personnel. Systems, clients, organization, repeat. Now, do you see how I go? Personnel. One, to disturb my neighbors in the night, because it's about, let me see, it's about 20 minutes to 10. But secondly, without personnel, you're nothing in this industry and you're nothing in this space. The people you recruit who are providing the care to your clients are everything. And one boundary line that I made my clients know is that they could not aggravate my personnel, because without caregivers, without direct service professionals, where are you going? Without behavioral health technicians, where are you going? So this industry, your personnel is everything. And I need to teach you the art of love bombing your personnel. How many of you have ever bought a laptop, a cell phone, and fronted your staff members at least 5,000 in loans for self-development? How many of you have shopped for your personnel? How many of you have supported their private goals, right? In these jobs, people come and go. You'd be doing good to maintain your personnel for a long period of time, right? Your personnel is everything. It's the one key thing I taught my clients right from the beginning. Personnel come before you, because without personnel, I can't be the only one doing this job. So I need to teach you the art of love bombing your personnel. I need to teach you the art of educating and training your personnel in such a way that they can run your business on your behalf. By the way, this is something that you have to come to class to the BHBMC to understand, because most of you are overworked and overburdened, and there's no way you can scale a business when you're leveraging off your physique, right? Oh no, what's up with this apple? Sorry. So I'm just saying, there's no way you can be leveraging your physique and expecting to multiply and grow to the second home, the third home, and the fourth home. Trust me, I know. I had one home for 5 years, and then I'd hear people on the 11th, 12th, and I'm like, what's happening? Now, granted, I'm happy I got 100% on my audit scores, but really one home? What kind of a business is one home? But one home is also not bad. It was my MVP. It was something that I put my whole heart into. But come on, people. We're not here to have one home. We're here to grow and build multiple homes. And that's why the BHBMC is so important. Because you need to learn how to stop leveraging your physical preference in exchange for money. And that can only be done by your ability to recruit an administrator that's sharp as a whiz. And those are the hardest people to find in the industry, because they make your home run like a well-oiled machine, and you can concentrate on your vital tasks, which is not providing direct care, but in expanding and in growing your business, right? Not being like what I was the cook, the cleaner, the counselor, the consoler, the driver, the entertainer, the BFF. We can't be all of that. If you're all of that, you're not growing your business. And that's one of the things that we teach in the BMC. I teach you all the, I was going to say tricks and trips and tactics, but I'm like, it's not a trick. It's just really the art of recruiting and training your personnel so that they can run your home efficiently, so that you never have to spend another night in that deep fear and worry, right? So moving on. Oh, now I'm also going to teach you 3 things I always want you to remember. It's called it's BRR. The B stands for beds, the R stands for reimbursements, and the other R stands for referrals. These are the 3 key features that determine how well your business is doing, your residential care facility. So it's like this: BRR, beds, reimbursement, and referrals. BRR, let me write it. BRR. Let me see if I have something to wipe my board. No, I don't. So I'm going to use my hands. It's BRR. BRR. It's beds, reimbursement, and then your referrals. And these are like the 3 knobs, right? This is a door. Here's a knob 1, another door, knob 2, and another door, knob 3, right? So it's your beds, your reimbursement, and referrals. The killer in the residential care industry is a vacant bed. If you're running a vacant bed, you're losing money on the daily. And a lot of you run vacant beds because you don't know the art of generating good quality referrals that stay with you for a long time. A vacant bed is slow, quiet death into your business, and as I've always said, no one could pay you enough for direct care. So even one night of a vacant bed, that little dig into your income, compounded over time, will most definitely wipe you out before your 5th year. So you need to know the art of generating good quality referrals. You know, clients that are a good fit for your business, client with whom you have really solid and great agreements with, and clients who can stay with you for a long time. That's the R. The beds is what I'm saying, vacant beds. You're in this industry to fill your beds, right? Whether your facility is like a 5-bed or a 10-bed or a 14-bed, every night there's no client in that bed, it's a big problem, really big, okay? So generating quality referrals, how do you do that? One way is by, if you run a business that's compensated by Medicaid, right? Medicaid or Medicare. Medicaid, usually people, I believe, 65 and under who are receiving help from the government in supporting their healthcare. Medicaid, 65 and over, you know, individuals who are receiving help from the government to support their health care. And then you could also be a residential care facility that receives private paying clients, right? By the way, most of you also don't know how to budget. You don't know how to read the numbers of your facilities. And you know, let me tell you, here's the thinking. When you come from being a salaried employee, like let's say the last job, right? I was earning $120,000. I was a pharmaceutical sales representative for Fortune 100 pharmaceutical company in New York, right? On a monthly basis, 120,000 divided by 12, 10,000. When you move to the residential care marketplace and you establish your business, if your beds are full at an average of $5,000 a month, times 6, like Sananga Care Homes, which is where I'm recording this from. So, what was I? So 5,000, right? Compensation per month per bed times 6 beds, that's 30,000. So for me, coming from a monthly income of 10 grand and now being like, oh my goodness, with full beds, I'm making 30 grand. In my head, I'm making profits. No, you're not. And you need to know why. So you need to come to class to the BHBMC. But the difference, you know, between your employee salary, like mine, which was 10 grand, and then moving and establishing a behavioral health residential facility to 30 grand, I'm like, oh, 20 grand in the difference, I'm making a profit. Nana love. No. And there are little innuendos in there, right? And in the BHBMC, we run through all the things. Like, how many of you have put Netflix onto your budget? Do any of you have homes that don't have Netflix? It's a cost. It might be $8.16, which is the basic cost. But if you have more, which you must, because you're probably running multiple screens in the house, it's a cost. Those small things, they eat up your profit. Oh, let's go for McDonald's. How many times did you swing by McDonald's, especially for those with behavioral facilities, right? Oh, this resident needs a little shampoo. Those things make a difference. You don't need to be mean. I'm not saying be mean. I'm just saying be aware. You're here to make a profit, and that budget we discuss to the letter. So by the time you go back and look at your residential facility, you have a new eye. Your eyes are just going ping, 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 ping. Because as I keep saying, most of you are just too overwhelmed to sit and look at the nitty-gritty. But that nitty-gritty, when manipulated, is what supports your ability and your capability to scale. Now, do you see why I said I'm all for you providers? Because I have memorized that budget to the letter, because I've had 5 years and I've had time to sit and process what happened in the 5 years because I wasn't aware. And you know this point called reimbursement? That is the beginning of the end for many of you. Because you know, when we used to be wooed and told, oh, come and contract with the federal government. Oh, ye, come, oh, to me, small business administrator. Come and establish these small businesses and we shall reimburse you. Wait until the reimbursement stop coming in. And you're going back and forth with the provider representatives who, some of whom just loved being MIA, or you're going back and forth with the state. Some who also love being MIA. I mean, you are going to see mediocrity to an extent that you have never seen it before. And it's very unfair on you as providers. That's why I'm here to love on you, and you can woosa and you can try, and then we can try and work it through, because things have changed. I'm not saying they were great when I started 5 years ago, but at least now with BHBMC, you can know what's happening, so you know how to manage for it. And I teach you how to build a nest egg, because do you think I had a nest egg? Oh, let me tell you a story. In fact, story time, right? Let's have story time. Story time. My first check, I couldn't pull my check through. You know why? Because during the billing, whenever you have a client, let me first explain it. Whenever you have a client, depending on what kind of facility you have, each service you provide is assigned a code. We bill based on that code. So let's say my client is called Saguaro Cactus, and the client has schizophrenia and bipolar. Or let me see something that I know, like PTSD. So they are assigned an ICD code for the diagnosis. It's PTSD F49. Most of they all start with an F. It's called an ICD code. I forget what ICD stands for. So you have a client, they have a diagnosis, their diagnosis is assigned a code, and the type of business you're running is also assigned a code for which you bill with. So, right, let's assume PTSD. I think depression is F33. Let's roll with that. I think that was depression. So here I am trying to build for months on end. F33, because when you're billing, you have to point it. It's called like a diagnosis pointer. What are you billing for? You've provided a service, but to what diagnosis, right? Because remember, this is clinical care you're providing. So I'm like, I've provided treatment services to the diagnosis of depression. The number is F33. F33. So I was billing in the portal F.33. And nobody had ever told me that that was not the way it was written. So month one went on, month two went on, no money. And when I started my business, I had no money. So now I was in double no money. And then COVID hit. So that was triple no money. Nobody had told me that when you're billing for the codes, at least in that particular portal, and I'd called and asked everybody, that the way in which I was supposed to write the code was F33. No decimal point. Not F330, not F33.0. It was just F33. And that's what happened. So you can imagine. And then my check came in. And then I was so happy. And then guess what I got? A letter. There was a lien put on my property because my former company had forgotten to withhold my New York, Manhattan city taxes. So that whole check that I'd just gotten, and I was so starved for money, guess where it went? Into paying for taxes. Now, had someone taught me these things ahead of time, can you imagine how many months of just sanity that I lost, notwithstanding how much money that I lost? Because you imagine how many clients came that I had to discharge because I couldn't bill correctly. And a lot of you strain with your billing. It surprises me, by the way, a lot of you, notwithstanding that the insurance companies are also a nightmare in helping, clear out your payments. It's just become such a cat and mouse game, I'm just like, but we're all wooed with contracts with the government. It is not that easy. So come to BHBMC, enroll, so that we can iron these things ahead of time, and you don't have to be like me, who got her first big check of $17,000 that went all to the IRS because the former company I worked for forgot to withhold my Manhattan city taxes, which were not cheap. And there was that fat lien. So I just went into my room and I cried. Oh! I cried like Cucaphonics with tears coming out of my eyes. So we've talked about BRR. Just remember, beds, reimbursement, and referrals. These are the three things that if you optimize will help you increase your profits. If they're not optimized, That is you going down, 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 down. And I've been down that road, not once, not twice, many times. And then, let's have a moment to laugh at myself. This is for the Yvonnes coming in. Okay, Yvonnes. The Yvonnes, all of you who are out there who have been thinking, dreaming, this is your moment, right? This is why you need to join BHBMC. Right here is my first inspection checklist, right? I submitted my application to the state to establish the residential facility. The inspector came. Guess what? I wasn't ready because nobody could give me the policies and I had no money to buy. And I was sitting on this exact chair, spending almost 80 hours a week drafting and creating them and reading and rereading. This was funny. This is what she told me, right? So when the inspector comes, you know, you've submitted a successful application, so the inspector is coming, and now she's coming to your residential facility to read your policies and procedures. Then you can be approved for the license. So she came into my home. I had scrubbed it. It was smelling nice, but my policies were not finished. So this is what she said. I mean, the list was long. These were all my, these were all my things that I hadn't done. The list was so long. I'm just going to read for you the second page so you can understand why mentorship is so important. Posted numbers are inaccurate. Imagine putting a number of the Department of Health Services that is going to license your facility and the number is inaccurate. Too stressed, too overwhelmed, guessing. Resident rights as outlined in Article 7 were not posted. Nobody told me I needed to post resident rights. That's something so vital. Nobody told me that. Calendar days and times for the visitors to make and accept phone calls were not posted. Nobody told me I needed to put days and times of phone calls. No sample menu was available as a registered dietitian had not been hired. Okay, this was so funny. This was my state inspection file, which I'm using to teach you all in the BHBMC. So see you on Saturday. Nobody had told me that when you open these facilities, you need a registered dietitian. So she came and asked me, where is the menu? And I'm thinking, I'm opening a group home. Obviously, I know how to cook, and obviously, I know how to choose menu items. Why would I need a menu? We're not in, I don't know, a hospital menu. Who doesn't know what to prepare? Seriously. So she was like, where is the menu? Menu? I don't know. She's like, where's the contract with your registered dietitian? Nobody had told me that I needed a contract with these are all my inspections in the 5 years. Oh yeah, they come. But you'll be ready, right? Because you'll have attended BMC. Nobody told me. There are other funny things. Oh my God. Everything was off. Everything. Oh. Hi, I had to, oh my goodness. People, this is unacceptable. You're leaving your companies, you're using your life savings, you deserve the right mentorship so you can do the right thing and get that license as fast as you can, because otherwise you'll be running vacant homes and vacant beds. And each month you're not licensed and actively recruiting clients into your facility is months of lost revenue. So you take the average rate per bed, multiply it. If let's say you're planning on charging $5,000, right, per bed, and you have 5 beds, that's 5 times 5, that's 25. So anytime you're delaying on getting your documentation done and you're having your documentation straight, is money out of your pocket. And you have just worked way too hard to have these kind of juvie mistakes happen to you, right? So that's a pitch for coming to class. Now, in closing, I wanted to ask you to refer me to anybody who has mentioned, or you have had, or you know is struggling, or you think needs to grow and they're engulfed in fear, because a big part of this business is just, I mean, you're so weighed down sometimes emotionally and so broken down that you need your camaraderie of your own peers, your own intellectual people to rejuvenate and have that energy and feel you're back again in a force in order for you to grow. Some of you have the capacity to expand to 2 and 3 and 4 homes, and you're not, because you're engulfed in fear. So I want you people to share this video with all of your friends. You know, those who've mentioned wanting to start a residential care facility, those whom you know are integral. You know, I operate with 100% integrity, not interested in stealing a dime of the government. Didn't do that. Left with my good audit scores, and I'm going to help you guys do the same. But if you know somebody who's out there, who's struggling, who's overwhelmed, who hasn't had their reimbursements come through appropriately, who is running vacant beds, who needs a good quality administrator, who is interested in up-leveling their direct personnel, like, you know, their direct caregivers, who's just struggling with a referral chain, please refer me. Don't leave them hanging. Because you're busy running your entities. Don't leave those people hanging. Let's have as many people as we can come into this space, do this business, and then you guys who are already running effectively, come to class so that we can build that community, so you can expand your residential facilities outside of the state. That's something, by the way, I wish I had done. I just wish I had the bandwidth and the wherewith to establish the facilities out of the state of Arizona, which is where I am at the moment. Because when Arizona was going down and things were getting thick, I would have backed up my money somewhere else in a different state. And different states treat their residential, you know, facility owners differently. There are different laws, there are different advantages, there are different benefits. I've been hearing stories here and there. I've shopped, you know, in a few states to just see how it is out there. But if you're ever wondering about rates, rates are public information. They are published under the department, like, is it the Department of Mental Health? Different states call it differently. So if you're ever wondering, this service line, how much would I get compensated for it? Rates are published. And I teach you how to read those rates, how to understand them. Last but not least, some of you guys are not using artificial intelligence. How is that even possible? How are you people renewing your policies? This is something that I teach in the BHBMC, is how to use artificial intelligence, how to add on computerized softwares. Some of you are still handwriting progress notes. That was so yesterday. We cannot be handwriting progress notes. It is too time consuming. Your time needs to focus on providing quality care. Some of you people don't even have your documentation systemized onto an online digital platform. There is no way you can scale if you're still handwriting. Today, the client slept well. They don't scream at me, you know. So you need to move and learn how to use artificial intelligence. There's some things you can do. Like sometimes, you know, when the state comes and they do an inspection and they find you non-compliant on some things, you can use prompts in artificial intelligence to square out those documents, get it done, formatted and sent back to the states. You don't have to think of every word and put it in. We're now in 2025, and I will drill you on how to use artificial intelligence because I am such a whiz in using AI. I use it almost exclusively for almost 15 hours of the day. AI could really pretty much write my eulogy. It knows it is my boyfriend. It even has a name. And I will tell you the name when we come to class because it's our code secret word only for those who join the BHBMC. And then lastly, if you sign up for BHBMC, which is this Saturday, before the doors close, like from seeing this video, you know, before Thursday night at 12 p.m. and you pay in full, you know, I'm a salesperson, right? So you knew the sales speech was coming, but all to your benefit. I have an absolute special reward that I curated for you. I flew all the way to my home country. I've been holding on to this special reward for the first 3 people who pay in full and who make a committed, who are serious, you're committed, you're a quick decision maker, and you're like, I want to enroll and come for the BHBMC. I have curated for you this astronomically, absolutely beautiful gift. And I can't wait to give it to you because I've been holding on to it. I've been thinking about all of you guys for 5 years since I created my last video on May 1st, 2020. And tomorrow is May 1st, 2025. Is it? Wait, does April have 30 or 31 days? Anyway, I'm proudly going to present this beautiful gift. Look at it. It's a BHBMC swag bag. Look at it. Look at it. It is custom made. I commissioned it for you. And I have just 3 of this ultra beautiful BHBMC swag bags. Just look at it. And this bag, you could consume it, you could enjoy it yourself, you could give it to your significant other, you could gift your mother, you could gift your wife, you could gift your girlfriends, boyfriends, anybody that you love, or use it for yourself. You're probably going to use it for yourself, but here it is. And I've had these bags for 1 year. Look at it. And I'm going to show you now what the contents are. So this is delicious Kenyan coffee from a coffee shop called At Cafe. Here it is. So it's going to be in the swag bag. All right. Let me show you what else. I have a spice for you. This is garam masala that could be put in your stews. This is Kenyan spice, so you get a taste of Kenyan African cuisine. It's also used in the Indian community quite a bit. I have this precious salad tongs, so that you can whip your client. No, I'm kidding. So that you can cook your success, right? Look at them. Precious salad tongs. Look at them. Look at them. So nice. So that you can do that. I also have 2 soap bars that I made myself. I've been holding on to these for you. These are ultra super wonderful soap bars. I also have, look at this, a special bottle for you. Look at that, look at that. Especially in Arizona where it's so hot, you'll just open, you'll be drinking and thinking of me, you'll be like, I'm a part of Pamoja Pamoja. Pamoja, by the way, means together. And the BHBMC is happening. Oh, I forgot to tell you about my facility. Anyway, it's going to be a surprise. You're going to see it. You're going to love it. And then I'm also going to gift you some seeds because I believe planting, touching the soil, coming out to the sun, getting your circadian rhythm right. So I'm going to give you some seeds and then you can plant some nice herbs or some kale, like bright light kale or some melons, you can plant something, some dill, and then as it grows, so is your business gonna grow. So that's what I have for you in the swag bag. But these swag bags, I only have 3 of them. They're custom made. I commissioned them to be created because I wanted to have a special gift for you. Every morning you're gonna be drinking this delicious gourmet A-grade coffee. You're gonna be sipping it. You're gonna be just ultra super smart because you came to BMBMC. You're gonna be rolling with this nice bottle in your car, whipping food, not the clients. Don't whip the clients. And then for your dinners and your lunches. So that's what we have. This is so you sign up by the close of midnight on Thursday, this Thursday, and you're gonna get a bag this Thursday, right? All right, because the class is on Saturday. This Thursday, see that? Okay, which is tomorrow, right? So within 24 hours. So, in summary, remember what it takes to start a residential care facility. Remember that you're loved and that you're precious and that you're amazing. And nothing could ever replace the kind of work we do. We need you people all over this world. Oh, I forgot to tell you my name. Oh my goodness. My name is Nkatha Kimathi. I come from Kenya. I'm originally from Kenya. I go home to see my family 2 to 3 times a year. And I am your behavioral health, assisted living, DDD, intellectual disabilities, transitional living, sober living mentor. I'm your trusted mentor and advisor. I am based in Arizona, even though this year my 2 keywords are teach and travel. So I'm here to nurture you, to love you, to empower you, to motivate you, and best of all, share with you all the wisdom that I have gained throughout this 5 years working in this industry. And as a short summary of my career, I've been in healthcare for now almost 20 years. I used to do sales, pharmaceutical sales in LA, and then I moved over to Manhattan and I did pharmaceutical sales, and in both marketplaces, I achieved best place in the territory. So healthcare is not new to me. And I started way back, my passion in healthcare started way back when I used to work for a community-based HIV/AIDS program in Kenya. And what I used to do then was support all their initiatives in the community, and we used to teach about how HIV is transmitted. We had a clinic over there, so we used to run a home-based program. And then at that point in time, a lot of young children were being orphaned, and it was my role to make sure that this young children were absorbed into families, and for the teenagers or the young adults, we would absorb them into like a sewing program or a carpentry program, depending on what their preferences are. So I come from a long background, long history of healthcare, but I'm passionate, as you can see, about teaching and educating. I'm funny too. I teach with some funniness. And God gave me good brilliance, give me a good portion of brilliance. And that's why now this year and the years to come, my commitment is just to nurture you guys, empower you, teach you, break down this complex information from the federal government on how to establish this facility so that you can excel. So Sananga Care Homes is about all of you. All right? Sananga Care Homes, you people are mine. So my company is also called Pamoja Pamoja. That's a company that supports all these education programs that will be rolling out through the years as we build community. My goal this year is to get 1,000 of you started all across the country. So it doesn't matter what state you are with or where in the world you are. I keep saying the model is the same. As long as you know who is going to pay you for the service you provide, you are good to go. We are rolling out our BHBMC. It's this Saturday. We start at 8 o'clock with our private networking session for those of you who will make the commitment to join us. And then we will have the curriculum. I've already published the curriculum on the website, so you can take a peep. Tomorrow night at 7:30, I will be holding a briefing session. So people, some of you who are still contemplating, but you just need to talk to me face to face over a Zoom call. You can also sign up for that on the website, nkathakimathi.com. I'm going to post the link here, but it's Nkatha, N-K-A-T-H-A, Nkatha. I don't know if you can see it. So it's Nkatha Kimathi.com. So cathakimathi.com. So that's the website. All the information is there. I've also published a roadmap to licensing. Opt in, subscribe. We're building this just a few people at a time. So if you're committed, you're like, this is my moment, this is where I want to go, you are most welcome to sign up and come and join us at the Behavioral Health Business Masterclass. Last but not least, this is what I want all of you to do. Grab your rucksacks and come to class. Come to class. Come to the BHBMC. This class is for you. It's time for you to wear your bags and come to class. I told you I was funny. And I'm recording this video in Sananga Care Homes. By the way, this Friday, at 3 o'clock, I'm going to have an open house, a meet and greet. And I'm also having a garage sale because I have 2 houses worth of furniture. So if you need anything, I have printers, TVs, computers, couches, office stationery, kitchenware. I mean, come to L'Estorage. L'Estorage is my garage. I have goodwilled everything for you. So don't go out there and shop. Please come and buy. I am selling the stuff at throwaway prices. I take cards, I take Zelle, I take Cash App. So this Friday at 3 o'clock, all you need to do is Google Sananga Care Homes. It's BYOB. We are gonna have a sip and a serve soiree, right? I'll be doing a little bit of soap making during the day, but come with your BYOB. We're gonna sit, we're gonna chat, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna get to know each other. You just need to Google Sananga Care Homes and my address in Maricopa will pop up. But I have a garage that is full to the brim with beds, twin beds, mattresses, beddings, towels, shower curtains. I mean, you name it, cleaning items, drug test kits, you know, staplers, files. Come and shop. Thank you so much for your time. I honor you all. I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I can't wait for us to build such a powerful community. And your success is important to me. So I'm going to keep showing up. I'm now fully available for you. In fact, I'm going to go back and respond to all of you individually, and you're going to do it. It's extreme hard work, but you're going to do it. You're going to grow your empire. You're going to do it. I love you all. Goodbye. Come to class.